Hi, we're Harriet, Mauro and this is Tofu, and in 2021 we bought 4 acres of land on the east coast of Spain with the dream of living a simpler, more sustainable life, in tune with nature, the seasons and above all our values. Join us as we try and bring our beautiful land back to productivity, restore our little stone cottage and learn how to make a living on our land. I've got a bit of a challenge this week because I've got a friend coming in 7 days and I need to get everything ready for her. So we put this teepee up last weekend, this bell tent, so that's a good start, but I still need to get some furniture and do a lot of other things. So some friends of mine came by with a... Ooh, it's echoing here. Can you hear that? Some friends came by with a bed frame the other day and I should be getting a mattress today. I also really need to fix this bathroom area for the outdoor shower and this other bathroom, which is where we're going to have the compost loo, which as you can see is not very usable at the moment. Although it looked like there was a lot to do in the bathroom, I think we're actually not that far off from making it a much nicer space. So I'm going to start with that. I'm just doing some work on the base of the compost toilet. This compost toilet we have been working on for about 4 months. It's just taken forever. It's just one of those things that we've done like 15 minutes here and there for so long and it's still not done. Try it out.
Oh, that is lovely.
Yay! It opened. It's a hinge. We're back on the compost toilet project today. Mauro is just varnishing it. This project, I don't know when we started this project, it must have been months ago, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, and it's just one of those things that never makes its way to the top of the priority list. We've just had so many other things to do that we've just been doing this so slowly, and yeah, we're not going to get it done today either, but we're making a little bit of progress. Well, Mauro's...
Like that vote of no confidence.
Well, the stuff's got to dry, and then we've got to...
I know, I'm joking.
We've got to put the tube in and stuff. There's still a bit to do. But while Mauro's doing that, I'll show you why it's not a priority. I'll show you the system we've got at the moment, which is really just working fine for us. We're really doing this for guests, actually. Anyway, let me show you. So back here by the bathroom, well, what will be the bathroom, this is our current toilet area. So it's super simple. It's just a bucket for the poos, a pot for the wheeze, which I kindly emptied before I showed you this, and here we've just got some sawdust and toilet roll. So how it works is you need to separate the wet from the not so wet, otherwise it will smell. That's the only reason you really want to separate these two components at this stage. So it's kind of a case of hopping off one and onto the other, which is a bit awkward, but it's really okay. So you do your business. Obviously you put your sawdust on top of anything that you do in here so that any moisture just does get soaked up by the sawdust, and that will again help to prevent smells. And then you empty your bucket onto a compost heap and you let it compost for, well, it depends if it's a hot compost or not, but we've let ours compost for about a year and it's starting to look alright. So anywhere between a year, I guess, and maybe maybe 2 or 3 years if you wanted. I mean, the longer you compost it doesn't hurt, but it probably would need at least a year. We tend to empty this bucket about once a week, so it doesn't really start smelling anyway. It's really not that an unpleasant task at all, emptying it onto the compost heap. You just tip it up, empty it, put some more sawdust at the bottom, ready for the next time you use it, and it's absolutely fine. The we sometimes use it on the garden, so sometimes we'll mix it 1 to 10 with water and water the plants with it. It's full of nitrogen, so it's a good kind of liquid feed for plants. But if we can't be bothered and the pot is full and we just need to use it, we'll tip it onto the compost. Both of this stuff can go on the compost together. It's just separating it whilst it's kind of sitting in these containers is important, just to stop the smells. There you go.
Thank you.
Good?
Has a lot of pulp, like I like it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
We're thinking we've maybe not chosen the best kind of material for this toilet, although it's a bit late now. This like MDF or whatever it is really absorbent, so we've already noticed that just by leaving it in the bathroom, this untreated piece here, it's got like slight mould on the top kind of layer, which I'm just trying to sand off. So I'm not sure it's the best material for a humid room like a bathroom. So, I mean, we were treating it anyway. We were putting like protector and varnish on it. So we'll carry on doing that. We've built it now. It's too late. We're not going to rebuild it. We'll just see how it holds up, I guess. Alright, I think I've got to get some of this stuff out of here so we can use it as a bathroom and not a storage area. The issue is we're very low on places to store stuff. We don't have anywhere else really, which is why everything's ended up in here. Maybe the best I can do is just take everything out of here and put it here if I clean up this area a little bit. Tofu! Tofu! Get down from there. I'm not too sure about this roof. Looks like it could fall down at any moment. Okay, that is now officially a problem for another day. It's a shame to be getting rid of all this material, which is mostly just like wood chip, bits of leaf, organic material, but it's just full of like disintegrated pieces of plastic. It's just, you couldn't separate it, so it's all gonna have to go. Oh wow! Haha, look at that! Oh look! Look at these traditional tiles. This is a picture of a traditional Valencian house. I can't remember what they're called. But this is like the traditional house with like a thatched roof, I think, that you see. Oh, these are so lovely. Wow. Right, I think I've got everything that's not bathroom related out of the bathroom. I just need to cover it up so that this cement and other stuff doesn't get wet. The compost toilet is, in theory, almost done now. One of the last things to do is just fix the toilet seat on to here, and I'll show you the full design in a minute once it's all connected together. Okay, I cannot believe this is done. So I'll show you how this works. I don't know if you've seen a composting loo before, apart from the one that I just showed you earlier, but we've got a normal toilet seat, and then we've got a separator for the wet and the dry stuff. So like I was showing earlier, the wee has to go somewhere else. And what we've got under here is the same bucket that I showed you earlier with a little layer of sawdust in the bottom, just so things don't stick to the bottom, you know. And then under here, this section lifts up, and we've just got a plastic cut off 8-litre plastic bottle where the wee goes. So yeah, very simple design here, and it's just a case of emptying out both of those containers when they need it. And then over here on this side, we've got toilet paper, a lantern. It gets a bit dark in here at night. Toilet paper can go in with the poo. It can be composted, especially if it's this very like unbleached, undyed, recycled paper. That's great. We've got a little compartment here, which at the minute I'm just keeping extra loo rolls and stuff in. But the plan was to actually have a pipe, a little pipe coming through from here, from where the wee goes. Where's the wee separator? There's the wee separator. Have a little pipe coming over here and have a bigger container for the wee on this side, because that's the thing that needs emptying the most frequently. It fills up pretty much every 2 days. So if we could have a bigger container on this side, that would be good, but at the minute we haven't. And then in here we've got a little hatch, and we've got our sawdust, which we just sprinkle on top when we've gone over there. So this whole section on this side is full of sawdust. There's a lot in there, so that should last months and months. Just a tiny detail, but it's the whole unit is sitting on a little bed of thin bricks, and that's just to lift this wooden base off the floor, because I'm thinking that we're going to have possibly a wet floor in here when we've got the shower, and we're just going to like let all the water flow out through the door and then drain away into our grey water recycling area. so I didn't want the wood sitting on the floor. So yeah, that may or may not happen, but anyway, we just built a little plinth of bricks for the whole thing to sit on. Well, it's pretty much the end of the day now. I think I just heard the bell chime for 6, so not much light left, but I thought with the last bit of the day I would just try and make a start on some of the painting in here. I think this yellow colour is making the room a bit dark. I mean, the room is really dark anyway, but I think a brighter, whiter colour will help. So I'm just trying to get a first coat on. I don't think I'll do the whole room this evening, but I'll do what I can. Can you believe that we used to have a bathroom with a bath and a radiator on the wall where you could hang your towel up and you could just step out of the shower and have a nice hot towel and you just had hot water when you opened the taps. Can you imagine? I think that's almost it for today, probably. I'm just going to use up the last of the paint that I poured out from the roller. I'm really running out of light. I think I need to go and cook soon. Okay, with the bathroom looking a lot better, now the main other thing I really need to do is the shower area, the outdoor shower, where we hang a solar shower bag up from this tree and we just have this little area to shower in. Well, I really need to just put now some fencing or some sort of privacy screen around all of it. I have been working on this area for a little while. All that's really left to do now is the screen, try and fix the screen so we've got almost like a little cubicle. So I'm just working on this section of dead hedge behind me, which I started a while ago as part of the fencing that we're doing to try and keep at least one area of the finca secured for tofu. I bought some posts which I put into the ground and I'm using just to support the branches a bit, because without them it was just kind of collapsing and not kind of growing as tall as I wanted it to. So those have helped, and I'm also just adding more material to it now. So we had behind me previously 2 dead pine trees. They look like they've been dead for a long time. They were super dry, and one of them came down in a storm back in November, and as it fell onto an olive tree which was in perfect health. It was actually doing really well and it was providing part of the privacy screen for our shower area, so that's gone. Also, ever since this first pine tree came down in the storm, we were worried that the second one would also maybe follow suit soon, and it looked like it was leaning a bit towards the house, so we were a bit worried about that. So we cut it down. It fell towards the house anyway, but at least in a slightly more controlled way. So we've had a lot of wood to process from around here, and the shower area has basically been unusable all this time because we've had all this fallen tree material, branches, stuff, just making it really hard to get to. So I've been trying to clear that up.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain.
Here's Botti investigating the damage and doing some more damage.
Burn all bridges, all I know. I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may. Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives.
Do you know what I learned the other day? That if your zip tie isn't long enough, you can join two together and get a longer one. I never knew that, but I think it might just change my life. I'm sure you knew that.
And my crooked little heart that seems so rebellious is falling apart right now. I'm bleeding an easy kill, gonna leave it all behind. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges, all I know. I got lost along the way, fell between the fold, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
Right, I honestly think cable ties are my new favourite thing. I think I just want to build everything with cable ties.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Look at me, mama, what I've become.
While I've got the hammer out, I'm just knocking off a few of the tips of these spines on this palm. Palm is actually very spiky. I never knew that, but I've sustained many injuries on it, so I now know that it's very spiky. Like literally any kind of palm, even this one, which I think is a kind of palm. This is also really spiky. Where are we? Here, yeah, look at these. Like any kind of palm somewhere on it is gonna have some really, really sharp spikes. Then look at this one. This is gonna have some spikes somewhere as well. Maybe not immediately obvious, but okay, yep, there they are on the stalk. Oh my goodness, I think it's done. I can't believe it. I thought this was going to take so much longer. It's not 100% opaque, but I'd be perfectly happy to shower in there, and honestly there's really not that many people around anyway. I think from a distance you won't see anything, and you know, anyone who's around here is going to know whether you're having a shower. You know, you're just going to say, hey, I'm having a shower, and we're not going to peek through the little gaps. We'll leave you in peace to shower. I actually think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So as far as I can, when I'm getting furniture, I try and find something online. There's so many places, like second-hand sites, Wallapop, or even Facebook Marketplace, with people trying to get rid of old furniture, and you can get some really good stuff on there. This little bench is something that I picked up the other day from someone selling it on Wallapop. And I'm just finishing off a pair of little cushion covers for it. I've just got to join them up around the edge, one extra edge, and then they'll be done. Honestly, crochet it's kind of kept me sane this winter, like these long evenings when I've been in the house on my own, without really all that much to do. I've just crocheted so many hundreds of squares in this pattern and in other patterns. I must have spent like 200 euros on wool probably. So it's not necessarily a cheap hobby, but it is just so addictive, and I really love crochet, and I really love the stuff that you make from it as well. So yeah, this has been my activity all winter. I've spent so many hours sitting in front of the stove making these little squares, watching something on TV, or just listening to an audiobook, or whatever really. It's just super relaxing, nice way to spend the time, and you get something at the end. There we go. A bench, a bed. My friends came over with a mattress they donated as well yesterday. So we've got a bench and a bed. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this room in time. I had a dream of it being just like a gorgeous room full of rugs all over the floor and lovely furniture and things, but I don't know if I've got time between now and Saturday, which is just 5 days away, to run around getting more furniture from places. So yeah, we'll see. I've got a few more things to come in here, but they're arriving with Mauro on Thursday. So this is something I couldn't do yesterday in the bathroom because it was really cloudy, and yeah, we're totally on solar here. So yesterday I didn't want to be using any big things like this. I wasn't even charging a bunch of stuff, just using the absolute minimum, the light in the evening and my laptop. But yeah, today it's sunny again, so we have no problem, especially right now. So yeah, this is a good time to use stuff like this. It's just one of those things you have to think about living off grid. But luckily it's sunny most days here, so it's not a problem really. This is mostly what I wanted to hoover up. If you can see, a huge family of spiders. Loads of little spiders that have all come out of their nest up there. Can you spot Tofu in this scene? Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's with the cabbages. He found a little shady spot. So what do you think of your accommodation, Kate?
It's great. There's a bed and everything.
More than you expected?
I didn't really know what to expect. I was waiting.
I didn't big it up that much, did I?
No, you kept it vague.
Because I didn't know how much I was going to achieve.
But yeah, a proper bed. Table.
Success.
Pleasant.